when I was in office, the achievements that were pointed to over and over would be brick and mortar, like creating MARTA, our mass transit program, but the human relations were equally important. Appointing the first woman to the Atlanta City Council in 125 years when there hadn't been a woman on the City Council, and appointing the first blacks as department heads in city government. But overall, I guess my legacy would be peacefully heading the city government, doing the transformation of Atlanta from an all-white power structure to a black city hall. This was a time of stress and tension, and Atlanta came through with flying colors. My father, who with his two brothers were the largest developers in Atlanta before the Depression, after which he went into law, but as a hobby he edited a political paper called the Atlanta Democrat, and he got me interested as a child, not just in politics but in civic service and giving back to the community. And I guess that led me into the political arena, and winning the mayor's race was far more than I ever thought I would achieve. Being a minority as a Jewish person in Atlanta with a very small Jewish population, in fact, at that time, to get elected first citywide, the first Jewish person ever running citywide as president of the city council, and then again for that office for 8 years, and then 4 years as mayor, was more than I had expected, and was very rewarding. My loss to Maynard Jackson came as no surprise once we learned during the campaigning that in fact the profile of Atlanta's population had changed, and the black community became a majority. And as any group that had been out of office for 125 years would feel, it was an opportunity, and it was very normal. They would want to be in charge, and indeed they want it fair and square. I now manage the Buckhead Coalition, which is a nonprofit civic group, which is really like the political arena itself. It's just a civic service instead. There's only a very fine line between civic service and political service. In civic service, people ask you, will you serve on this committee? And they don't pay you anything. But in politics, you ask the public, will you let me serve you? And they give you a stipend. So otherwise, when I was in civic service, being president of the Atlanta Humane Society was not a lot different than later when I was in elected office, being president of the Atlanta City Council. It's doing for others they can't do for themselves. And it's very rewarding, and I encourage one and all to get involved.